Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We really appreciate lately all of the feedback and new viewers that are coming to the channel and everybody who continues to support us. We just love sharing our life with you. We're always out here in the garden, or we're in the mountains hiking somewhere, we're at some nursery shopping around, and it's a lot of fun to share our life with this channel and just kind of show the progress of what we're working on. Today I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about a few of my larger size Japanese maples. I've been showing you guys a lot of different things around the garden, and I did try to get a few larger size maples so that I had some different levels and heights out here in the garden. So I'll take you around and show you a couple of my favorite larger size ones. All right, let's start this thing out. This is an amazing cultivar. This is Acer Shirasawanum Sensu. Now, what really makes this tree special is that it's a palmatum shirasawanum hybrid. So you have a lot of palmatum characteristics, and you have also that influence from the shirasawanum characteristics. It has a beautiful, kind of a larger size leaf with a nice fan to it. It's got about 9 lobes, I believe, on that leaf. So it's very, very rounded on the edges on that. Very deeply divided lobes as well. Now, one of the interesting things that I always liked about this tree that I heard from Matt and Tim at Mr. Maple was that because this is a hybrid between the palmatum and shirasawanum, it always provides really interesting seedlings. So if you collect the seeds on this and grow these seeds, you can get a lot of different variances, and you might wind up coming up with a new cultivar or a seedling that's worthy of becoming a new cultivar. I love that concept about this particular tree. One of the reasons why I got it, honestly, was because I just love the idea that I could collect these seeds and maybe come up with something really cool. But on top of all that, this thing leaves out kind of like this nice, like, light colored green with a little bit of pink, salmon pink color over top of that. Then the fall colors on this gets really nice too. Kind of going from like oranges to reds, and the way it turns in that fall color, it's like it gets multicolored. It's almost like it goes from the inside out of the transition of color, and it really creates a great color dynamic on this tree. And I love the leaf shape on this. Again, just a beautiful size too. Love the structure and the shape on this. One of the reasons why I picked this one out, this was a 10-gallon size when I got this one. And really a nice feature tree out here in my garden. Definitely draws your eye upward, kind of gives you something a little bit higher than the rest of the things in my garden to look at. But just really the texture and just the overall aesthetic of this tree is one of my favorites out here in the garden. So I just had to get this on camera and share it with you guys. All right, taking you to the next beautiful Japanese maple. This is one of my favorite dwarf Japanese maples. This is Acer Pum Kuro hime. This thing is electric. Just so many things about it that I love. I'll take a minute here to try to walk through each of those things. Probably one of the biggest things I'll talk about first is the structure on this one. Just was insane. This thing looks like it's a 200-year-old tree, but it's only like, 4 foot tall. I absolutely love that. It kind of has that bonsai-esque look to it already. This is a very mature size and shape to this cultivar because this is a very slow growing dwarf. And so, you know, to see one this size was just so impressive. I had to have it. When I saw this, I was like, this is coming home with me. I have to have this in my collection. And again, I was trying to add some bigger size maples to the garden. And this one really creates a huge, like, dynamic presence out here. And the other big feature that I love about it is its leaves. Very small leaves on that, and just a crazy array of colors. This thing leafs out like a hot pink color, and then as it fades and transitions into that kind of summer colors, you'll see it when we get a close-up here, but it has like these kind of blue-green, olive-green tones with that hot pink new growth over top of it. So it contrasts within itself very well. A lot of color dynamics going on in that. The leaf on it is very small, very pointed lobes, a little bit of serration on the edges, but just so many details about this cultivar that I love. It really draws you in and makes you want to just come up and just really dive in and enjoy all the amazing characteristics that it has. And being a dwarf, that's one of the things I love about, you know, working in a smaller space, is that there is a Japanese maple to fit any space in the garden. And so when you're thinking about, depending on your garden area, if you need a dwarf Japanese maple, there's usually one that you can find in about all the different colors you can think of. When it comes to like a hime type or dwarf like this I think is a standout. You know, this thing, just the colors on it are crazy. I think you guys are going to enjoy just seeing some close-ups of this cultivar. It's my favorite dwarf Japanese maple. So this next Japanese maple is absolutely amazing. Again, I've got a really nice size of this cultivar. This is Acer Sieboldianum Shoryu Noe. That's a mouthful, but it loosely translates to the claw of the dragon, right? The leaves on this thing are really interesting. When it comes to the Sieboldianum cultivars, this one probably has the most unique leaf shape of all of those different cultivars. There's not really any other maple that has this style of leaf, and that's what I like about it. I'm always looking for something that kind of sets itself apart from the other cultivars, and this one certainly does that. And I love the concept of the name, because the leaf does kind of have this clawed, hand claw look to it. And I'm a big Skyrim fan, so, you know, if there's any gamers out there, Skyrim, I always think of the dragons in Skyrim. So the claw of a dragon out here in my garden is just a really cool idea. But man, look at the size of this thing. The structure on this is absolutely amazing. I've done some light pruning to this back in early spring, just to kind of try to open it up just a little bit. But it is really just a striking presence here in the garden. A really dark kind of hunter green, I would call it, and with some nice light lime green new growth popping over top of that right now. Man, this thing is really hard to match when it comes to Japanese maples. It's very high on my list of one of my favorites. You know, when you're thinking about Japanese maples, I always like to think of of how I can contrast different cultivars together and to create a dynamic color change as the seasons progress. So if you're looking for a maple that has great spring color, nice green interest, and then some amazing fall color, Shirao Noe is the one for you. Definitely check this cultivar out. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video where I took you around to some of my larger sized Japanese maples. The three I showed today, I was just so excited to add those cultivars because one, they're actually kind of rare to find them, especially in those sizes. So to be able to add the Shirao Noe, the Kuro hime, and the Sensu, you know, you kind of get the best of all of those worlds. You have the shirasawanum palmatum hybrid, you have the Acer palmatum dwarf, and then you have the sieboldianum with this crazy dragon claw leaf, right? So it's a really cool trio of Japanese maples that I've added, and I love that I have them in a bigger size. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and maybe just bringing more attention to those cultivars will kind of encourage you guys to add them to your collection or find a place in your garden for them. As always, we appreciate all of the feedback and comments in the channel. If there's a cultivar or something that you guys, an idea that you have for a video, post in the comments. I'm always reading those and trying to respond to that. And I'd love to hear you guys' feedback and garden ideas. So until next time, take care.